Hello and welcome to this Norbord, my cabinet guide video on how to assemble a 625 L-shaped corner unit in the Cooke Lewis range. It's always best to assemble your unit on the cardboard box. That way you can protect the panels. I have some side panels. One of my shelves with the fittings already pre-inserted. Put that to one side for the moment. In a standard unit, which is 720 high, you get 2 shelves. In a tall wall unit, which is 900 high, you get 3 shelves. Here's my top and base panels. As you can see, all the fittings have been pre-inserted for you, which makes putting the Cooke Lewis units together so much easier and quicker. This is the 8mm back panel. It's laminated on both sides, and these holes here go towards the top of the unit when I put it into position. The last 2 panels in the box are your back rail, and this one is your thick back panel. This is 18mm thick. In your unit you have 2 fittings pack. This is the fittings for your shelves and any other bits and pieces you require. And this is the fittings to hang your unit to the wall. These are your shelf supports. For a standard unit you get 12. For a tall unit you get 18. You've got silver covers here for your 5mm unused holes. You've got your joining bolts. You have 3 wall hanging brackets and the 3 silver covers that go with it. Okay, following the assembly guide, I've laid my first panel out, which is panel number 3. And panel number 3 is called the large back panel. There are 4 holes behind the groove here, which is where your metal fixings go for your wall hanging bracket. And this hole here is where you will adjust the 3rd bracket, which goes in there. So identifying panels number 5 and 6, which are your top and bottom panels. As the fittings have already been inserted, it's really quick and easy to fit it. Please make sure that the groove matches the groove, and insert your first panel like so. Tighten up the cam as you go. Repeat for the top of the unit. Again, making sure that it's groove to groove. The next thing to do is to slide your 8mm back panel into position. And again, making sure that the holes are towards the top of the unit, and the top of the unit is where these 4 holes are here. Slide it into position like that. At this point I'm going to fix my rear rail, making sure that the edging comes towards the top of the unit. And this goes in just there, like so. As the unit's laid out like this, I'm now going to fix my left-hand side panel. This is the left-hand side of the unit. The right-hand side of the unit is down here, and I'll fix that in a second. So my left-hand side panel looks like this. The holes for the rail at the bottom, and the wall hanging brackets at the top. So fitting my left-hand end panel. Tighten the cams as I go. Repeat for the bottom. Now I've built this up, you can actually see that the sides are square with the top. So when you fit your unit to the wall, not only does the sides but also the top and bottom touch the wall. You don't need to use the groove because this panel sits flush to the surface of this one. Tighten the cams up. Just to show you again, the wall hanging plates go in here, and this is then enclosed, meaning that the sides, the base and the top all touch your wall. You need a gap here because your wall hanging bracket for this side needs to be fitted so you can hang it to the wall. When you're measuring for your 625 unit, the points where you take your measurements from are from this face here to the back edge of this panel, and this face here to the back edge of this panel, and that gives you your 625 measurement. Your wall hanging brackets aren't handed, they can be inserted in the right or left hand side panel. What you do is you put your bracket in like so, you pull your tag down like this, that locks it tight into position. In your wall hanging bracket there are 3 holes. You never use this one because if you do, the screw could come right through and be seen in your unit. So, drill a quick hole, then taking the screw provided, you put it in like that. When your wall hanging brackets have been inserted, what you will see inside the unit are these 2 adjustment screws here. The top one, when you turn it, pulls the unit back to the wall. The bottom one, when you turn it, adjusts the unit up and down. You should always adjust the unit up and down before you pull the unit tight to the wall. What you actually see is the adjustment screw at the top here. That's the one that pulls the unit back to the wall, and the adjustment screw at the bottom there, that's the one that moves the unit up and down. It is recommended that all wall units are fixed to the wall, not only using their wall brackets, but also fixed at the bottom. I've now fitted all 3 of my wall hanging brackets. I can now fit my unit to the wall. Once you've fitted your unit to the wall, you can then fit the shelves, and to do that you need to actually put the shelves at an angle like this. Once your unit's fitted to the wall and you're happy with its positioning, you can then fit your cover plates, which go into the large holes in the back of the unit like this, and you have one for all 3 hanging brackets. Insert the shelf support into the unit, and 6, and also I'm going to put my second shelf in at the top here. Fitting your shelves, you put them in like this. Put the first one past its shelf supports, then you have room to fit your second one. So again, lifting it up past the shelf supports, you can now drop it down, tap it into position, and then taking the second one, repeat. Your shelves are now fixed securely in their position.